Okay, well, we're back in our sample rock castle construction file, and we are going to be working with making deposits using the undeposited funds account. A little bit about undeposited funds. It is a standard workflow process. Think of it as a file drawer where you put all your cash and checks and that sort of thing before you take it to the bank. That's what the undeposited funds account is designed to do, to be a holding place for those items until you actually take those to the bank. And then what will happen is that when you get your bank statement in, you can match up those deposits really nice and pretty with those bank statement items. So in order to use the undeposited funds account as a default, you have to actually select that as a preference. So you go under the Edit and Preferences area. Then you're going to go to the Payments section here, and under Company Preferences, you want to make sure that you at least have the undeposited funds as a default deposit to account. Now, if you have all these other things checked, it will help you automatically apply payments that you receive to certain invoices, bills, that kind of thing, and to calculate those things. You don't necessarily have to do that, but if you want to use the undeposited funds as a default deposit, you do have to turn that on in QuickBooks. So once you do that, you click OK. And anytime you have that turned on, every time you receive payment on an invoice or anything like that, it's going to be held in the undeposited funds area until you specify that you made that deposit. So let's say we've received some payments and we want to go ahead and we've gone to the bank and we want to go ahead and record those deposits. So we're going to go over here to the banking area where you see record deposits. We're going to click on that. What happens is that our deposit screen opens up, but then we also have a window that pops up that shows items that we have right now in the undeposited funds that we need to group. So first of all, we're going to take this one from 1214 because that's a separate deposit. We don't want to group that with the other stuff. So once we've done that, and you can see you can sort by all types. You can also sort by either date, payment method, name, amount, whatever you want. And that's helpful if you have a long list. We don't have a very long list, so this is good. So what we're going to do is we received a check from the kitchen remodeling job for Doug Jacobson, the customer. And so we went ahead and deposited that since that's such a large amount. So we're going to go ahead and record that deposit real quick. Once we do that, and you can see from account, and then you can specify what account you want that to go to. And it's automatically set up to go into our checking, which is where we want it to go. So once we do that, we can go ahead and do Save and New. We want to match it up actually to the deposit date, so let's do that. Okay, we want to make sure everything matches up with what will show up on the bank statement. So we're going to save and close, well, actually save and new. And then when you do that, you'll see we still have 3 other transactions that we have to deal with. This ACH, we're going to go ahead and do that next because it's separate from this cash and checks that we deposited that same day at the bank branch. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that because she paid us by ACH. So we're going to click on that, and that's going to pop up. And then we can also choose remodel as being that class. And then we're just going to go ahead and say electronic payment or something, or ACH payment is probably better to do that. And that was also on, well, that was on 12/15. So we want to make sure that that matches with the detail that we have. So we're going to save and new one final time. And now we've got these two last items that we need to group together because they're in one deposit. So we're going to go ahead and click on both of those and click on OK. And you can see how this deposit subtotal is going to match the deposit receipt that we received from the bank in the amount of $1,252.66. It's also going into checking, and that was all we have, and we can do save and close, and we are done. So now if we go to our view balances, we can click on our checking account and open up that register, and you can see that we recorded all those. They're in here. And they all came from undeposited funds. Same thing with this one. And those are in there. And if we was to go back in there, you can see that was that one that we just recorded for $1,252.66. And then the one for Christy Abercrombie, and then that $2,000 the day before that we got that matched up to undeposited funds. So let's go back to our home screen, open Windows tab, click on home screen. And there you go. That's how you can use your undeposited funds to group those like items together when you go to the bank, or if you find out that you had an ACH payment that you want to match up to a bank download, then that's how you would go ahead and do it. Hopefully you learned something today and you can put that into practice right away. Take care. We'll see you again soon.